Okay, you guys, I can't do math, 7 minutes away from being done with my cardio tonight. Thank God. I did not think I was gonna make it. Like the first 15 minutes in, I was like, I cannot do 45 minutes of this. I can't do it. I started watching a vlog, and then I was just like, I can't focus on this. And I tried a different vlog, couldn't focus on it. I'm like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. Then I put it on Masters Olympia and just watched routines while I did I would jog for 5 minutes, and then I would walk for 2 minutes and sprint for 1 minute, sorry. Jog for 5, walk 2, sprint 1. I did that 3 times. And then now it's 38 minutes in, and I'm just I'm just gonna incline walk. I'm trying to run my routine full out tomorrow. I don't need to be doing this walk, sprint for the next 15 minutes. So then I just stopped doing it and just started walking, but guys, I'm dying. It's been a long day. Okay, good morning, everybody. I am headed to the gym. So it's Sunday, September 14th. I've actually tried to film this clip several times, but my gimbal on my camera, it says it was overheating. It's not hot outside. I don't know what was happening. And I was I tried it so many times on my actual camera. I was I'm not doing it. I'll just record it on my phone. Back to the olden days, right? So it's Sunday, September 14th. I'm headed to Powerhouse to have a routine practice. I just left 7-Eleven, picked up today's energy drink of choice. It's actually not my energy drink of choice. Y'all know I'm a Bum Energy or Rise or even a C4 girl, but I've been drinking C4 every single day because they're 89 cents. They're 89 cents at the grocery outlet. So I have so many C4s, and I just didn't want C4. I didn't want beta alanine today. So I got this Ghost. Shout out to 7-Eleven because listen, not every time, but most of the times I go into 7-Eleven, specifically the one that's by my house, those cashiers, I love 7-Eleven. They be chopping it up. They will have you, there's a line, they will be on one register, and they're okay, they ring you up, they tell you your charge, and most people are paying with card. So then as you're swiping your card and doing your stuff, they're on the next register. They're okay, I can take you over here. And they're just bouncing back, and I'm y'all, I love it. Y'all are really hustling out here. There is no reason. They don't have to move fast. They don't have to make it convenient. People are going to come to 7-Eleven no matter what. It's not a customer service based place. And they make sure that they have, I just love 7-Eleven. If you've been here a while, you know 7-Eleven is my favorite gas station for no reason. No, there is a reason, for that reason. Anyway, all the shows are over. The Olympia list is closed. Amy Hamilton seals her fate at the Europa Pro. I haven't seen scorecards, but I can't imagine that she didn't win straight ones in both rounds, or maybe she didn't get straight ones in routine, but I'm sure she did get straight ones in routine. Allison also won Oklahoma in straight ones, y'all. I can't wait to talk about this on the final call out, but I already told Allison because she said, okay, give it to me straight. I was not sure that Allison was going to win. I can get behind, of course, an Allison win. However, and again, we'll talk about this more on the final call out, but I've seen the Olympia version of Allison's routine. I've seen what it's going to be. So the Oklahoma routine, which was reserved, a little pulled back, some of the skills, some of the other stuff was not in it. So I was it was good, but it wasn't amazing. And I think I just had that bias watching her Oklahoma routine because I've seen it at what it's going to be at the Olympia. So it felt it was okay. It wasn't the best I've seen this routine. And it wasn't. That was the whole point, is that it wasn't the best that routine's going to be. And Arika was better than she was at Masters. So I was I don't know, I think Arika might have this. But then Arika got third. So it was straight ones for Allison, straight twos for Janine, and straight 3 for Arika. I do think that Arika should have at least had a 1, 2. I don't know that I believe that Janine was straight 2s and Arika was straight 3s. However, I could get behind it. They were all honestly, all 3 of them were very good. It was the same exact ranking as the prejudging, which I'm always but sometimes that just is what it is. And then in Arizona, Taylor won. She got second in prejudging, which was really good for her. What was interesting about Arizona was that finals, the only unanimous score, it happened at Legion a couple years ago when Taylor won too. The only unanimous score was Taylor winning routine. Second, third, fourth, fifth, all the rest of the routine rankings, none of them were unanimous scores. So it just the scores were really tight, which, I always think that's really exciting when the scores are tight. So anyway, Allison and Taylor win their shows. They were already qualified, so no additional qualifications there. So Stephanie Jones and Arika, neither of them made it to the Olympia this year, which is just wild. Arika didn't compete last year either, but I mean, I think this is the first year in like 4 years that Stephanie Jones won't be making the Olympia, which she's had a hard year. So, I mean, she wasn't able to compete as much as she originally planned to. But I said it at the beginning of this series. I said, it's going to be crazy because there are going to be very, very good athletes that should make it to the Olympia that won't, just because of the limited number of competitions that we have. And so Amy was the only one added. So the official Fitness Olympia list is going to be Jacqueline Baker, Anya. Let me do this in order of the shows. I was going to try to do it in alphabetical order, but I can't think straight. We have Tam. We have Jessica Z. We have Jacqueline Baker. We have Taylor, Allison, me. Did I already say Amber? Amber, Anya, Shelly, Amy. I think there's 11. Who's the 11th person? Jenny Worth. That's the list. It's crazy. I have to stand in between Shelly and Amy. Seriously, I'm gonna look like a string bean. I'm already not that muscular. I gotta stand next to like probably the 2 most muscular people on the lineup. It is what it is. Anyway, today is the day. I feel very heavy, like my legs feel heavy and tired. But I have to get a full out under my belt today. So I made some changes yesterday. Didn't love them. Made some more changes in my brain last night. I think that I like them. I'm gonna try them. As soon as I get there, I'm going to try the changes, and then I'm just going to run it. Whatever is not hitting within 2 attempts of full out is out. It's cut. I have got to be hitting a full out by the end of my practice today. Hopefully that does not take me longer than 90 minutes. Oh my gosh. I'm not even going to speak it into existence. It's not going to take me more than 90 minutes. Y'all pray for me, please. Oh, good morning, everybody. It is Monday, the 15th. I am headed to Powerhouse. It's like almost 12. They had, classes, whatever. Yoga ends in like 10 minutes. So by the time I get there, hopefully those people will be clearing out. Yesterday, they took forever. I'm like, y'all, please have this conversation outside. Like, you see me trying to move around in this room. Like, why are you all spread out still? Don't they know that I'm 4 weeks out from the Olympia? I know it's a public space, everybody, so you don't have to be like, Andrea, really? I'm joking, but I'm also serious. Like, please get out of my way. Headed there. I don't know that I'm chasing a full out. Like, the last few practices, I've been like, I have to get a full out. I am going to warm up and see what feels right for me today. Maybe it's going to be halves. Like, maybe I need to build confidence with halves before I just try to gun it and run it. Maybe I'm going to feel really good and do a full out. I don't know. I'm going to find out when I get there. But I do think that like coming in and being like, I'm not leaving until I get a full out. I think it's just been setting me up mentally to get really frustrated, instead of just like doing what can be done and what can be done well. And at some point I really do need to be like, look, you have to get a full out. Like I'm 3.5 weeks out. I have to be running this routine. Like I'm going to have to get on stage and compete whether or not I run a full out before then or not. And the last time I competed at the Olympia, I made the mistake of not running a lot of full outs before I competed. I think before I competed at the 2022 Olympia, I literally ran 2 full outs, 2 individual full outs. Maybe 3, like I think I did 2 of them in the same practice. So maybe I ran like 1 practice with 2 full outs and 1 practice with 1 full out. But I was not repping it the way that I've been repping my routines in the last couple seasons, where it's just like I will come in and run a full out, and 3 times a week I'm running at least 1 full out per practice. Like I wasn't doing that. I just got 1 under my belt, and then I kind of just was like, okay, that's good enough. Like if you're a fitness competitor, you know the feeling of full out. You know it's not a comfortable feeling. You know how you feel at the end of it. It's a very mental thing. And I remember during that Olympia prep, getting it done and being like, okay, now that I know what it feels like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to like continue to feel that way. I don't want to continue to practice that. But now I know that I can do it, so I'm going to be done repping it. And that was a mistake. That was stupid. So now what I've done the last couple years is like condition the full out. It is still very mentally challenging, but I see myself getting into that mindset of like, okay, well, you've done it. Like I trust that you can do it, when I don't need to trust that I can do it. I need to train myself. I need to train it. So all that to say is I'm going to warm up and see how I feel. I would like to try a full out, but I'm not gonna be how I was before, which is like, I have to do it, I have to, because then I just start beating things into the ground, and sometimes they start getting worse, or like I said, I just start getting frustrated. So that's not gonna help me. So I don't really have that much time. I need to pick up Reagan from school, so the gym is like 20 minutes away from the school, so I really have basically about an hour, which sounds like a long time, but it's not a long time. So I just gotta get in, get moving, and hopefully get it done. Okay, so practice was pretty good. I was there for probably about 45 minutes. 35 is how long my watch timer was on, but I wasn't wearing it at first. So I normally wrap my wrist. Sorry, there's somebody walking behind me. So I wear a watch, right? I normally turn on the cardio, like to basically track my practice as a workout, and wrap my wrist. However, like, I'm not going to compete with my watch on. I'm going to take it off and wrap my wrist. So I was like, I probably should practice like that. I just like to keep my watch on because, one, I like to time it. Two, I like to clock my heart rate after I run these routines. So anyway, all that to say is my watch says 35 minutes, but there was a solid couple runs that I ran without my watch. So it was probably about 45 minutes total. It was good, but there were, at one point there were 5 people in the room. Most of them, like 3 of them, were just in their little area working out. But it's not a very big room. It's not as big as the old room I used to practice in at the other powerhouse. But if y'all have been here for a while, like they got rid of that room. They changed it into a workout room. Like they put equipment in there. So the room in this powerhouse is not as big. So when there's 3 people in there working out, like they can't do that. Like in the other room, 3 people in the gym working out or in the room working out still left me plenty of space. Like I could go a different direction. I could go in a different area. I could just go in the front of the room or just in the back of the room or just in the side of the room. Like, but this room, like it's not, first off, it's oddly shaped, but there's just not space. So like with those other 3 people working out, even though they were against the perimeter of the room, it still was like kind of in my way. So I had to make some adjustments, which was fine. Like I did sections and my sections were all good. There was just not space for me to comfortably do a full out without getting like I said, like close to somebody. Like I probably could fit it, but I would be like standing right next to somebody and it would just be, so I didn't do it, but it was fine. I'm going to go home, try to make a meal. What time is it? It's almost 1 o'clock. I'm going to go, heat up a meal and then go sit at the school, wait for Reagan to get out of school, and then we're probably just gonna go back to the other powerhouse and just do my cardio, because she's on 2 hours of cardio, and so I am gonna count like that 30 minutes as part of my cardio, and then I'm probably gonna pose for like 15 minutes. So I'm gonna get on the Stairmaster for 20 probably, and then on the treadmill for 40 plus my posing for 15, and that will get me to my 2 hours today. I'm not gonna count routine practice as part of my cardio every day, but while I'm running large sections, I am. Like if I just go in there, warm up and do a full out, I'm not counting those 5 minutes, like those 10 minutes. But since I was running sections over and over and over again, my heart rate was coming up, I am going to count it. And then my posing, I count when I'm doing posing conditioning. Like I'm going to be posing for 15 minutes the way that I pose with Sid. Like turn on a video of one of these shows and pose with it. My heart rate, y'all, oh my gosh. During posing conditioning, my heart rate gets up there. I'm like, oh my, this is literally a workout. So anyway, we're in there just trying to dig back down. Like I can't believe we're approaching the 3-week mark. Like I do not feel ready at all, but there is still time to get to where I want to be. So we're just gonna keep digging, and that's pretty much it. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm hanging by a thread. I've been hanging by the same thread. Prep is prepping. This has honestly been my worst prep that I've had in a long time. Just mentally, it's just a lot. I'm drained. I don't feel good. I don't feel like I'm on track. Now are feelings facts? I don't know. Like, I think I look okay, but you know how it is. You know how the prep goggles be goggling. The routine, however, is not, oh my gosh, it's kicking my ass. And I'm like, is it that much harder than it was? Like, I made some upgrades for the Olympia, but this routine is kicking my ass. I'm about to cut the whole show. Okay. I don't know, I had to look at my watch. It's still Monday. I just got back to Powerhouse. So, came to Powerhouse earlier, ran some sections of the routine, but like I said, there were a bunch of people here. Like, it was just not great. And so I have been sending some videos and messaging Missy K, just because she's like my like routine consultant, coach, whatever. And I was just telling her, like, this routine is kicking my ass. Like, I am in the struggle bus, okay? So she gave me some feedback, like not feedback, but she gave me like some routine conditioning tips, and she was like, this is how I got in shape for my routine really fast. So instead of doing the traditional cardio that I was gonna do, I'm just gonna do what she said. It's basically like HIIT training, like burst training for your routine. So the first 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, like conditioning that first 30 seconds. Like the first time I do it, great, it'll be just how it always is. But then the second time I'm gonna be a little bit more tired. And the third time I'm gonna be a little bit more tired. And so just doing my sections like that, I think what I'm going to do is, I don't really have that much time to like flesh this out of like, okay, I'm going to do the first 30 seconds like this today, and then I'm going to do the second 30 seconds like this tomorrow, and then I'm going to do the third 30 seconds like this the next day, and then the fourth 30 seconds the next day. And then I don't have time to do it like that. So I think I might try to get through like the first minute today. Like, okay, first 30 seconds, 4 times in a row. And do that, then take a quick break and then do that again. First 30 seconds, 4 times in a row. And then second 30 seconds, 4 times in a row. And then take a quick break and then do the second 30 seconds and then try to string together the first minute. I have an hour, so hopefully I should be able to get through that much. I just can't, in an ideal situation, I would have 10 weeks so that I could spread this training out a little bit more. I don't have that much time. I have 3.5 weeks until I am on stage. So I really have I have a week until I need to be able to do this full out on command. Because a week from now puts me 2.5 weeks out, which gives me, if let's say I'm not running my first full out until a week from now, that gives me what, a week and a half of full outs before peak week. It's just not that much time. So anyway, we just have to build up this conditioning as fast as humanly possible. So I'm about to do 30 seconds over and over and over again until, I don't know. So this vlog is pretty much all on the phone, which is fine. It doesn't matter. I don't even know if you guys know a difference. So it's Tuesday the 16th, I think. I just parked at the school. School gets out in about 40 minutes. So I park right up front, even though I did not get there early enough to get in the shade today. 37 minutes early, and I was the 5th parent. Anyway, parked. Now I am walking to the protein bar to get some protein. Sorry, I was distracted. To get our meal pickup. So we do a pickup every Tuesday of all of our proteins that we need for prep. So I am walking there now to get that. And I think this is my little brother that I'm walking past. So my little brother, he works for an after school program. And so he has to meet the kids at the school to make sure they get on the bus. And I think, yep, this is him riding his bike. I wish I had a bike. I wanted to get a tandem bike. Hey, T-Bone, see you in a minute. I wanted to get a tandem bike so I could pick up Reagan from school on the bike, but it's just was never a priority. Anyway, picking up protein. We do a pickup every Tuesday. So I'm headed there. I'll pick up the food, then walk back to the school, and then pick up Reagan from school. It's hot today, and I love that for myself. Let's see. I'm taking a full rest day today. I really want to go take boot camp, but I have to do this full out tomorrow. How many times have you guys heard me say, I have to do a full out. I have to do a full out. I'm not leaving until I get a full out. And I haven't done a single full out, you guys. So my recovery just has not been there. I've basically put the brakes completely on athlete games training because it is so lower body heavy that my legs were just not recovered. I just could not do it. So I'm just gonna have to, I don't know. We'll see how I feel after I get this full out under my belt. But I'm like, you know what, athlete games, I'm just gonna have to wing it and maybe die. I'm gonna have to get that last place. It is what it is. I have to prioritize the Olympia. I have to prioritize my routine. So full rest day today so that tomorrow I can get a full out done. Now, I am doing this thing. Did I vlog it? I don't know if I vlogged it or not. I think that I vlogged it. If I did, I'll cut this part out. If I didn't, Missy K told me about this conditioning, routine conditioning that she does, where she does the first 30 seconds of her routine. So I did that yesterday. I did the 30 seconds. I did it 4 times, and then I took a quick break, 2-minute break, 3-minute break, and then did 4 times again. And then I did the same thing with the first minute. And by the end of it, I was like, wow, this is really hard. I did not hit them all, but I was getting the conditioning. So I'm like, okay, I do feel like after yesterday's conditioning practice, I feel like I can do a full out tomorrow if I rest today. So we're gonna find out because y'all, we're approaching the 3-week mark. Yikes. I need to figure it out because, it's the Olympia and I'm trying to release the pressure of feeling like oh, I have to get this rank, or I want to get this rank. Like, I know I said early in it, like, I'm going for a top 5, I'm going for a top 5. Like, yes, I would like that. But, like, ultimately, I just want to do my best. And I think I just have to release the pressure of needing to get a top 5. Like, I think that's part of what's been stressing me about this routine, is like not wanting to take things out. And I've been letting this routine kick me in the ass instead of just making the routine easier. But like, I've been like, no, I want to do this and I want to do this. If I want to get a top 5, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to have this like really majorly impressive routine. And it's like, Andrea, you have to hit your routine. Like, it doesn't matter how impressive it is on paper if you can't hit it. And so ultimately it's just like, I just have to get rid of the idea that I have to do this and have to do that. Like, I don't have, like, Andrea, you've been chasing this Olympia qualification for basically 2.5 years. Like, it's okay if you don't go rank. Like, I got dead last at the Olympia last time I was there, and then it took me 2 years to get back. Like, it's okay if I don't get top 5. So I think just releasing the pressure of that and just really just doing the best that I can put on stage, I think that will just help me have a better remainder of my prep, because as I mentioned before, this has been like honestly my worst prep in a long time, and I think that has a lot to do with it. So anyway, I'm at the protein bar, about to make up food, so I'll check in with you guys later. You guys, it's a miracle from God. It is Wednesday the 17th. I just got home. Ruben is picking up Reagan from school. I finally got my routine full out. Twice today. Twice. I made some adjustments to the track, so I made it a little bit shorter. Sorry, they're not doing construction. They're painting our apartment buildings. And they're like actually painting our building today, so I had to park like kind of far. Anyway, I made some adjustments because I was like holding my straddle hold for like 7 seconds and holding my handstand for like 12 seconds. Like, it was a long hold. Like, both of those holds, because they backed up to each other. See, that's the new color. This is the old color. Anyway, both of those holds together were just gassing me out. And I did not realize how tired those 2 specific holds were making me until I made them shorter and was able to run my routine. I'm like, it's been weeks. It's been practice after practice after practice after practice, adjustment after adjustment, change after change, and not being able to get through my routine. And as soon as I cut that little section by 5 seconds, I got through my routine twice today. And I could have done a third round, but I was like, I'm just gonna rep this like one section that I wanna fix. And I'm like, wow. And I told Elaine and Kaale, I'm like, maybe I can go back to my old push-up sequence, because I kind of changed my push-up sequence because I was so tired. I'm like, I could probably go back to my old, like all the other stuff that I watered down trying to get through this routine, I can probably, like, now that I feel it, I'm like, I could probably put that other stuff back in because that stuff was never the problem. So anyway, I have a version that I'm okay putting on stage. There are a couple things that I do want to try to put back in, but at this point, the safe version that I did today is good enough for me. I am just ecstatic that I was able to get through that today. Like, now I'm like, oh, now I can confidently do my 2 hours of cardio and lift still. Like, I feel like I can do this routine on top of other stuff. I literally before was like, I can't do anything but this routine. And even that is doing too much. Like, it's too much exhaustion and too much exertion. But now I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can actually like really finish prep the way that I want to finish prep and get through my routine. So anyway, it's a miracle. I am so happy. I am so relieved, honestly. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, the 18th. I just trained. I guess I should upload my other video. I have to upload it tomorrow. Anyway, I just trained the 3 morning camps at Burn. And now I am headed home. I'm going to take Reagan to school. And then we just have to get ready. We're going on a road trip. My friend, actually, I'm going to go this way. My friend is getting married this weekend, and we are driving there to Vail, Colorado. It's a 13-hour drive. We're going to drive a little over halfway tonight, stay in a hotel, drive the rest of the way tomorrow morning, and then we're flying back. I was not about to do 13 and a half hours in both directions, even though we have done that before. We did that for Clash a couple years ago, and we did that for San Antonio a couple years ago, 13 hours in both directions. But the flights on the way back weren't that bad. The flights on the way there were outrageous, so we were like, we're not flying. But anyway, so it was just like significantly cheaper to get a rental car and just gas it up than to buy 2 round trip tickets. So anyway, that's what we're doing. So I'm just gonna take Reagan to school, and then we just have to get ready, finish pack her stuff because she's staying here with my little brother, and then I might have time to work out. Working out is not really my priority. My weight is just out of control, and I'm just gonna give it to God at this point. Like, we're gonna do what we can do, but at this point we're 3 weeks out and I don't look the way that I want to look, but My stomach is doing things. It's been a long prep. And also, to be honest, you guys, I'm just not locked in. I've had a lot of, this isn't on. I've had a lot of things that are not part of my plan, whether it's just extra stuff, like, you know, I'm supposed to have 4 ounces of protein and I decided to have 6 because I'm extra hungry. Same thing, I'm supposed to have 16 grams of peanut butter. I have 20 because I want it, you know, or it's just like, I'm cutting up fruit for Reagan and I'm like, oh, this is good, I want my own. Or just like, it's just, I have not been on. I will tell you that 100%. I have not been on. And that's just the reality of the situation, is that I will go for several days of just being perfect, on point, and then something happens and I just unravel and I am struggling. And the crazy part is that I like have this, spoiler alert, I have this like book that I'm gonna have at Meet the Olympians. It's just like about my whole mindset and the mental toughness and all this stuff. And it's like, Andrea, read your own book. Anyway, it's, I don't know. I need to figure it out. I need to figure it out because we're almost there, and I'm not gonna be winning prejudging, but I really would like to not get last place. I don't want to get last in prejudging. And, you know, that's a very real possibility at the Olympia because I'm already at the qualifying shows not winning prejudging, right? Like, I'm already in the middle of the pack in prejudging at the qualifying shows. So at the Olympia, the standard is even higher. So if I'm in the middle of the pack at qualifying shows, the chances of me being still in the middle of the pack at the Olympia are a lot lower, right? Like, it's like the people who are consistently winning prejudging, those are going to be the people at the Olympia that are going to be ranking higher. But like, somebody has to be in the bottom, and it's going to be those of us who were already kind of at the bottom. All that to say is, I don't want to get last place. Like, I very well could get last place. I would really like to not get last place. And the frustrating part is, I know that if I was at my very best, I could still be in the middle of the pack, but I'm just not at my best, and it just is what it is. And another thing that I think is important to note, like, just for the sake of this conversation, is that Jenny and I are technically the lowest ranking from our qualifying show in prejudging. So everybody else in this lineup got first or second in prejudging at their qualifying show. Me and Jenny got fourth. The only two exceptions are Taylor and Jacqueline, who were already qualified anyway from where they ranked at the Olympia last year. So there is still time to be better than I was, but again, better than I was and like the best that I could have been, there's a pretty big gap. So it just is what it is. I have to move on. It's been a really hard prep for me. So yeah, anyway, that's it. There was something that I came on here. Oh, here's what I actually came on here to talk about. So on Threads, we got to talk about these completely unrealistic expectations that people have. Now, I understand that this is a bodybuilding page, bodybuilding channel. So when I'm talking about the context of being fat or not being lean enough, or that is always in the context of bodybuilding. But the way that you people and other people, everybody, puts bodybuilding standards on their regular life, it's getting out of control. I saw someone post on Threads that she's like, I'm already pretty lean, but I want to be extra lean. She literally said, I'm already lean, I want to be very lean. And she put very in all caps. I want to be very lean. However, I also like want to train specifically for calisthenics. She's like, I don't want to be like building muscle like a bodybuilder. I want to be like training for performance calisthenics. How do I do this? Because I keep hitting this plateau. And I was like, well, the reason you're hitting a plateau is because probably once you get to a level of leanness, your performance starts suffering. So then in order to build up your performance, you're probably naturally eating more food. So now you're building a little bit more body fat. Like, it's very hard to do both. Now, as a fitness competitor, I feel like that's like my bag, right? Is getting very lean and performing. It is hard to train for performance and to prioritize leanness. That's why Burn Athlete Games is kicking my ass. I am not at my best for Burn Athlete Games at all. So anyway, I just told her it's going to be pretty much impossible. Like, you want to be abnormally lean, but you also want to train for performance. It's hard. She goes, well, I wouldn't say it's abnormally lean. I'm about 12% and I want to be 8%. I said, bitch, sorry. I didn't actually even say that word, but in my mind I thought that. 8% is absolutely abnormally lean. What do you mean you wouldn't say that 8% is abnormally lean? Your 12% is abnormally lean. Normal, and I'm not going to say average, because average is just like average of the population. Normal is like what it should be. Normal for a woman my age, late 30s, early 40s, body fat percentage, like healthy range is around like 18 to 25. And you're telling me at 12, you want to be 8 and you don't think that either one of those is abnormally lean? The fact that somebody believes that 8% is not abnormally lean, y'all, I compete around 7% body fat. I compete on stage. Now, again, granted, I'm not the most peeled person on stage, but I'm peeled enough to not be last place in prejudging at Legion Sports Vest. I'm peeled enough to be in first call out at Adela Garcia at 7%, and you're telling me that you think 8% is not abnormally lean? It absolutely is. And that's what I'm just like, we have got to understand that single digit body fat percentage is absolutely abnormal. 12% is abnormal. It's abnormal. So when you are like, oh my gosh, I'm hitting a plateau. Oh my gosh, I want to be a little bit leaner. Oh my gosh, why is this so hard? It's because it's abnormal. Y'all, it's okay to not have a six pack in your normal life. It's okay to not have a six pack. And now I'm going to rant one more. I'm going to go on one more sidebar. People keep talking about on threads, like, if my trainer doesn't have a six pack, I can't trust them. And I'm like, why? Like, not everybody, especially trainers, because we know what it takes, wants to always be on a diet. Y'all always want, like, clients always want to be on a diet. All they want to do is eat less and eat less and eat less. I'm like, y'all want to be on a diet for your entire life? Have at it. A six pack to me is not worth it. So maybe your trainer who doesn't have a six pack or who isn't in shape, which of course we use in shape so flippantly, like what does that even mean? Maybe they just don't have the same goals as you. Maybe they don't always want to revolve their entire life around counting calories. Again, I know this is crazy for me saying this as a bodybuilder, but when I'm not in bodybuilding, I'm not trying to count calories. I'm not trying to count calories. I'm not trying to get more lean. I'm trying to get strong as hell. Yes, prioritize my protein and prioritize the nutrition of my food so that I can feel good and so that I can perform well. But I don't want to always be on a diet. I don't want to always be shredded. And so when you're like, oh, I'm only going to have a trainer that looks like this, that looks like that, like I always think of Brianni Terry. And I've talked about her on here before. I don't talk about her that much, but she is a world record holding power lifter. Okay. Best deadlift in the world. Strong. Very strong. In her powerlifting season, do you think she had a six pack? No. Right now, she's about 6 weeks out from a bodybuilding show, and she is peeled to the bone. And her powerlifting is not a priority. Her strength is not a priority. And it's crazy because she's the same person with the same knowledge, with the same capabilities to get you to your goals in both bodies. But in the bodybuilding body, where she's miserable and she's cold and she's hungry and she's not getting good sleep and she has a low libido and may or may not be getting a period, people are like, goals, goals, goals. But in the powerlifting body, where she's actually strong, where she's literally setting world records, people are like, oh, you're not in shape. I don't want you to be my trainer. And I'm like, you guys, please let go of leanness being your metric for everything. I'm over it. Anyway, that's it, you guys. I've been talking for 11 minutes. I guess I'm done. Okay, ready?
3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, it's this. When you do it, you're wiggling.
Okay.
Just try to not wiggle. Okay. So see how when you use perfect the 4, try to be the same.
Okay.
Try to be the same. Cause this part, when you did like this, when you did that, it was big a 4, but now you stopped it breathing and you pushed it back in.
Okay.
So try to keep that muscle.
Okay.
In your leg.
Try to keep the muscle in my leg. Okay. Y'all, she's a mess. So, went to the wedding. Wedding was amazing. I'll put some photos in here in Vail. But it didn't mess up my prep. It just messed it up for the weekend because we got no sleep. We ended up just driving straight through, and it also was 17 hours just because we stopped several times. And then we also were driving through rush hour traffic in a couple cities, so we got slowed down majorly in a couple cities. Like I said, it took us about 17 hours. We basically just did 4-hour shifts of driving, so I didn't really sleep very well. Got to Vail, after getting basically no sleep, worked out, did cardio, did rehearsal dinner, and then went out that night. Got a few hours of sleep. I did end up sleeping in. I was going to work out in the morning because we didn't have to meet to get ready until 10:30. And I was like, oh great, I can get my 2 hours of cardio. I can lift. The gym at the resort was so nice. But I was so tired. I'm like, I didn't sleep at all. Barely ate. It was a mess. So anyway, so we packed protein for the road. So we had our meals. I did have a special meal at rehearsal dinner that she ordered for me on the side or whatever. So that was that. And then on the day of the wedding, I had getting ready. I had my meal prep. My roommate had bought me a salad bag so I could eat vegetables, and I pretty much just had all meal prep. I did have a mimosa while getting ready, and I did have a drink at the reception. And then I ate at the reception also, but it was just chicken. It was just chicken and broccolini and lentils. So anyway, and then again, no sleep that night because we were outside at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then we had to wake up at 4 o'clock to go to the airport the next day. So diet-wise, I was fine, but I just got no sleep, no recovery. So I came back super duper puffy, lighter than when I left, but puffy. But now we've been back a few days, and I'm back. I woke up at 133 this morning, 133.3, and my previous low was 132.9. Remember, but that was 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I am praying that I hit a new low tomorrow, or at least by check-ins in a couple days. Obviously, I didn't even vlog. I vlogged 2 weeks ago. But that's all on my camera, and honestly, guys, I'm just over the camera. I'm just gonna go back to doing this on my phone because doing it on the camera is a drag, and it's just too much to edit when vlogging is a low priority. When I have time and feel like I want to vlog and edit and get content up, the camera's fine. But right now, it's so low on the totem pole that if it's gonna get done, it has to be on the phone. So anyway, I'll probably honestly just take this video to check-ins because might as well. Or maybe I'll post this video and then start my next video with check-ins just so I can get something up because we're 2 weeks since I posted something. But anyway, so we are 17 days out or something like that. It's Wednesday right now. Friday makes 2 weeks. So I guess 16 days out. My body is doing whatever. We had to cut it deep. Just to get it to move. Like I mentioned before, it has not been my best prep. It's not I don't think that I'm having a ton of hormonal issues where my body is just not doing what it's supposed to do, but I'm following everything perfect. I haven't been following everything perfect, but I even after following our latest plan pretty perfectly, my body was we just need to cut deeper, and that's what we've been doing, and now it's finally moving, but we are on starvation calories and so much cardio. This is the most cardio I've done with the least amount of food ever, I think. But it is what it is. I desperately need a break. I think that probably after the Olympia, going into Ben Weider, we're probably not that we're not going to care about my prejudging round, but Ben Weider is only going to be 4 athletes. So you could literally get dead last in prejudging. As long as you win routine, you're going to win. So the only thing that will matter at Ben Weider is the routine. And I feel confident in my ability to win routine at Ben Weider. So not that we're going to just come in fat and just do whatever, but I'm not going to be on 2 hours of cardio and 1,000 calories. It's just not going to happen. So anyway, my body needs a break. I'm going to run my routine again tomorrow. I have put back, now that I've done the full out and didn't die, I've put back some of the other things. So I'm excited to see what that looks like tomorrow. And yeah, I still feel like I'm getting 11 out of 11 in prejudging, but of course it doesn't really matter. One thing that Allison said to me, she was like, you've worked so hard to get this qualification. Don't give up now, just keep digging. And that's just another thing that I need to remember is and I kind of alluded to it before, Andrew, it literally took you 2.5 years to get another qualification. Why are you worried about what rank you got? It's I'm still in the part of my career where I have to fight for an Olympia qualification. So of course, my expectation has to align with that. Allison, for instance, Allison was 4th place last year. She's easily winning her qualifying shows. She is someone who comes into the Olympia with her eye on a specific ranking, and it's realistic and it's not unfounded. There's evidence to show that that's a good goal for her, right? There is evidence to show that Allison could be eyeing a 1st place, could be eyeing a 2nd, a 3rd, right? For me, it's the evidence, the fruit that my career has produced so far, it's okay to be in the bottom half at the Olympia because we're barely getting to the Olympia as is. And I'm not saying that to discount myself, but I'm just saying I think I have to remember how hard it was for me to even qualify. that it's okay that I don't go get top 5. Again, I still think that my routine could absolutely be in the top 5. But I'm just saying, like, I think I just have to tamp my expectations a little bit, and I have, and I still do wish that I was coming in better, because that's not about my rankings. That's just about me and my expectation for myself. But like I mentioned before, it's just been a hard prep mentally. There's been a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. But so anyway, all that to say, we're digging deep. We're finishing strong. I cannot believe, like, 2 weeks from today, I have athlete check-ins. That is absolutely bonkers. That is bonkers. Okay, good morning, everybody. It is, what is today? Thursday. What used to be my rest day is now my routine day, and Friday is my rest day. So anyway, all that to say, this is my last, like, working day of the week, and when I say working, I mean working in bodybuilding. So I did train this morning, but I just trained the 3 early. I got Reagan ready for school, just took her to school, and now I am headed to GNC. I never go to GNC. I always go to Vitamin Shop, because Vitamin Shop is on my way home from training, but it's not actually near me. Like, if I want to go from my house to Vitamin Shop, it's not close, but it is on my way home from work. Anyway, GNC is actually near my home. So going to GNC, because I did get an energy drink this morning from Grocery Outlet. Rain is just not my jam. The Rain orange creamsicle or whatever is pretty good, but I got like sour gummy, and it was like, it literally almost made me vomit. It tasted like college. It tasted like jungle juice. I was like, bad decisions. Anyway, so I dumped it out after 2 sips. I was like, I can't do this. Wasting my money. Going to GNC, because GNC is going to have the good stuff. I assume that GNC is going to have Bum Energy or Rise, or at least a big selection of Ghosts. I like going to 7-Eleven, but 7-Eleven mostly has C4. Like 7-Eleven actually doesn't have a big selection of things that I drink. Like, when I go to 7-Eleven, I pretty much always get C4, which is fine, but I just don't want beta alanine. Today I mentioned that. Oh, that's in this vlog. In my real life, that is like weeks ago, but it is in this vlog that I mentioned before one of those practices that I didn't want C4 before my practice, because I didn't want beta alanine. I only like beta alanine if I'm about to lift. So anyway, so I'm going to GNC. Nobody cares. Routine practice. Let's get this full out, y'all. I did some full outs last week. They were great. I was so happy. I could have cried. Then I went out of town for that wedding, so I haven't been able to run a full practice, because normally Sunday is my other full practice, but we were traveling on Sunday. But when we were in Vail, I did run some sections, because that workout area was everything. That resort was everything. So it was like pretty much a full gym. Like, it had a bunch of machines. It had a ton of cardio, including Peloton and Stairmaster. Hotels never have Stairmasters. But it had, treadmill, elliptical, bike, like most of them always have, but it was multiple. Plus there was the Peloton, plus there was a Stairmaster. There was a classroom area where they do yoga classes. So there was a whole area where I could practice my skills. So I did. And then dumbbells went up to like 60. I never used dumbbells that heavy. Cable tower, like there was everything. That gym was everything. All that to say is I did not run a full out. However, I did run some sections. And so today, hopefully I will be able to put those new sections. They're not really new. They're the old sections that I took out because I was getting too tired to do them. I'm in my mind, I put them back in. So we're going to run it today and see if I can actually put them back in, or if I still need to do like the safe version of this routine. And we're going to see how it goes. Like, because I've been lifting this week, I've been doing cardio this week. So if my routine is still fine, amazing. If my routine is nowhere near, then I'm going to take that stuff out and probably go back to only doing routine. If it's hard but pretty good, then we'll maintain. We'll keep it in, but we will also continue to lift and do cardio for the next, now basically 2 weeks. We're basically 2 weeks out. Tomorrow is 2 weeks out. Oh, I'm petrified. I cannot believe we are a week away from peak week. Now, I did hit a new low this morning, finally. But I still, like, to feel comfortable, to feel like I'm not getting on stage completely fat, I still need to lose at least 3 pounds. And again, this is always in the context of bodybuilding. I know that I'm not fat. But I still would like to be under 130 to feel like, okay, you look like you belong on stage. Like, it wouldn't even impact my ranking, but I still want to look and feel like I feel good about what I do. So again, still 3, maybe even 4 more pounds. We're digging pretty deep. I think it's possible. Would make me feel like, okay, we're good. We don't have to like hide all of our Olympia photos. Sorry, you guys, I got a freaking eye booger. Anyway, I'm at GNC. I don't really have a lot of time. Got to go home and eat my pre-workout meal that I already cooked. Thank goodness, because you're always hungry. So I'll check in with you guys after practice, and then that's going to be the end of this video. We'll start next video with tomorrow's check-ins. Just is going well. It took a long time to get started because the people after yoga, they just sit and chat, which is, it's fine actually, because people do that at boot camp. But I'm like, y'all, you see me in here like warming up and moving around the room, like at least put yourself in a corner or like walk towards the door. They're just in the middle of the room watching me like try to work around them as I'm like trying to tumble and like do handstands. Anyway, doesn't matter. It just took me a long time to get started. I just ran one. Well, I started running one and I was wearing the wrong underwear. It was not, I literally like had to stop and adjust my underwear. I did that once in the middle, but then kept going. But then I had to do it again. I was like, I'm not doing this. So now she's going commando. So I just ran one, but without my running tumbling still. So I'm like resting a little while longer. My heart rate's still a little over 80 or a little over 90. So I'm gonna rest. And then I'm gonna do it from the running tumbling pass because I have not yet run the running tumbling at all, like not even a tuck. And I'm not gonna do a full anyway until I get on stage, but I at least run a tuck. So I'm gonna run it from the tuck through the end. But again, I'm gonna let my heart rate come down a little bit before I do that. Depending on how that goes, I will either do it again or I will move on and maybe run another full out. Again, it just kind of depends on how it goes. My full out felt good. It felt worse than it looked. Like in the middle of it, I was like, this is a mess. But then I watched it and I was like, oh, it wasn't a mess at all. Like there were still some things that I wanted to fix, but again, it would be one that probably after I got off stage, I'd be like, that sucked. But then when I watched it, I'd be like, okay, you were being dramatic. Just because again, at this point, even though I've only been doing it full out for 2 practices, because of how close we are to the show, at this point, I'm trying, like execution, like level of execution matters, right? Like when you're far out, level of execution doesn't matter. It's just like, just get through it, just get through the skills. But right, like at this moment, it's like, shoot, I missed a pointed toe, or like, oh, my head came down a little bit. Like all of those little things feel like big things because those are the things that I'm trying to focus on. So anyway, all that to say, it was good. It was not the way, it wasn't still the way that I want it. I've had it acceptable multiple times, but I haven't had the one yet. And I'm okay with that, actually. I don't mind the one not happening until I'm on stage. Because sometimes you get the one in practice and then you're a little bit disappointed by your stage run, even if your stage run is still good. Like if you've ever had one that's better during practice, you get like a little bit irritated. So I don't mind not getting the one, as long as they're getting better, which they are. So anyway, all that to say, I'm about to run running tumbling through the end. And then we'll see how that goes. Okay. We survived it, everybody. These glasses are very reflective. You can see everything in these things. They're also very dark. Like sometimes I have to take them off because I can't see. Anyway, okay, so practice is over. I did the front half and the back half, both with the running tumbling, like round by can tuck, which technically is at like 55. Like I mean, if we're gonna get like super duper duper exact, the halfway mark is like the back handspring rebound to push up right after the tumbling sequence or the tumbling pass. So the tumbling pass is in the first half, but it's also like a pretty big energy sucker. Like the running tumbling through the end of the push-up sequence is the hardest 15, 20, however long it is. Like that is the physically hardest, like I'd say most demanding part of my routine. Like it's not skill-wise the most hardest. Most hardest? Is that real English? Skill-wise, it's not the hardest part. The handstand is the hardest part skill-wise, but as far as energy exertion, it is the hardest part of my routine. So anyway, I did the running tumbling with the front half and the back half. I really should have done the running tumbling and the push-up sequence. But when I did the running tumbling with the front half, so the running tumbling was the end of it, my hand, like I had already done so much pounding on my hand and it like hurt my hand. And I was like, I'm not about to do this push-up sequence again. So anyway, I ended it there. I feel good about it. And I just like told myself like, Andrea, you can do this tomorrow. Like you don't have to do this right at this exact moment, even though like, yes, there is urgency, but not so much urgency that I'm getting injured in a practice trying to beat everything into the ground. So anyway, I feel very good about today's practice. Again, it was not, I don't think that I got the one, but I sent my videos over to Missy. And honestly, I didn't want to send them to Missy because I like really only want to send her like my best. But at the same time, I do want to send her the ones that are like a little bit hairy because I want her to be able to give me feedback that I can work on to make them better. Like if I send her like the perfect ones, if I only send her the perfect ones, like there's not going to be any feedback. So anyway. That's that. I'm at school super early. School's over in like 50 minutes. But it just wasn't enough time to go home and cook. Like, if I would have gone home, cooked a meal, like I still had to get gas, like I would have been there and back. So I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit here, edit this video, get some work done. Pretty much all the stuff I would have been doing at home. And then I'll pick up Reagan and then I will go home and eat. I did pose for 15 minutes after I ran my routine. So I am an hour and 15 into my 2 hours of cardio, so that's great because now I just have to lift and do 45 minutes cardio, which is easy because I have the rest of the day off. So anyway, I'm gonna pick up Reagan, eat, and then gym again. And then tomorrow finally is a rest day, and we'll see if we can maintain this low. So anyway, thank you guys for sticking with me through this chaotic chaotic series of a prep, but we are getting there. We are basically a week away from peak week, which is completely bonkers. So anyway, I think that's like the 20th time I've said bonkers in this vlog. So we will see you in the next one.